What is life if there is no God above? A random sequence of atoms, born to live, work, suffer, and die? Or is there something deeper? A rhythm beneath the noise, a light behind the eyes, a whisper of eternity calling us home? Every human being, no matter how advanced, no matter how skeptical, carries a quiet ache within, the longing for something more, something beyond wealth, beyond pleasure, beyond success, something sacred. In our modern world, we built cities that touch the sky and machines, that speak to us like friends. We've decoded the genome, split the atom, and mapped the stars. And yet our souls remain restless. Depression, anxiety, and emptiness are everywhere. Why? Because even as we evolve intellectually, something inside us starves, our spiritual hunger. You can feed the body, but if the soul goes hungry, no meal will ever satisfy. Life without God becomes an endless chase, a race to nowhere. We collect things but lose meaning. We gain control but lose connection. Every person is built with an inner architecture, mind, body, and soul. The body craves survival. The mind craves understanding. But the soul craves the infinite. That's why no matter how much we achieve, we always feel a quiet incompleteness. It's as if we're trying to fill a spiritual void with material dust. When we forget God, not as a distant ruler, but as the source of all love, wisdom, and existence, we forget who we truly are. The soul begins to drift like a boat without an anchor. When there is no higher power, morality becomes a matter of preference. Right and wrong dissolve into convenience. If there is no God, who defines justice? Who gives meaning to sacrifice, compassion, or forgiveness? A world without God may still have laws, but it loses its conscience. It becomes clever, but not wise. Efficient, but not compassionate. The divine gives moral gravity to our lives. The sense that good and evil are not opinions, but cosmic truths. Without that, even virtue becomes transactional. Imagine a world where love is just chemistry, consciousness just coincidence, and death the final silence. Would that world inspire courage or despair? If everything is random, then meaning is an illusion. And yet, deep inside, we know that love means something. We feel that truth exists, that kindness matters, that beauty is sacred. That inner knowing, that quiet certainty, is not delusion. It's the soul remembering its source. The sense that behind all creation, there is intelligence, design, and care. Without that faith, the star becomes coal that's not divine fire. Life becomes existence, not experience. Throughout history, every civilization has sought God in temples, churches, forests, and deserts. From the hymns of the Vedas to the prayers of saints, humanity's oldest instinct is worship. Even those who reject God often search for something to fill that space: ideology, fame, science, or power. Because to be human is to seek transcendence. The philosopher Blaise Pascal once said, "There is a God-shaped hole in the heart of every man, which cannot be filled by any created thing." That's why, even when we deny him, we build monuments to meaning. Because deep down we remember, we are not self-created. We are connected. When we say life without God is incomplete, it doesn't mean we must imagine a being sitting above the clouds. It means we must awaken to the presence that flows through everything, the consciousness that breathes in every heart. When you meditate, when you love, when you forgive, when you stand in awe of a sunset, that is God speaking through you. That is the infinite touching the finite. Faith is not about superstition. It's about alignment. It's about remembering that your existence is part of something immeasurable. And when that remembrance returns, the chaos of life softens. The noise quiets. The emptiness fades. With God in your awareness, every act becomes sacred. Work becomes service. Love becomes worship. Even pain becomes a teacher. You begin to see life not as punishment or a random accident, but as a divine unfolding, a journey of the soul toward wholeness. And that's when life stops feeling incomplete, because you no longer walk alone. You walk with the infinite. A life without God is like a song without melody. It may exist, but it cannot move the heart. You may survive, but you will not truly live. The completeness of life doesn't come from having more. It comes from remembering who breathes life into all things. When the soul reconnects with its source, every question begins to make sense. So ask yourself, are you living or merely existing? Is your life full, or is something quietly missing? The answer isn't out there, it's within you. Because the divine was never absent. We just stopped listening. If this message touched your heart, take a moment to reflect, not on the idea of God above, but on the light of God within.